Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wareham Planning Board meeting, regular scheduled meeting for Monday, August 11th, 2025, where the meeting is taking place in the Multi-Service Center, room 520 at 48 Marion Road in Wareham at the Multi-Service Center. So, start out with a roll call.
Mike Baptiste here.
Julie Moran, here.
Sam Corbett here.
Jane Gleason as chair here. So we have a full board tonight. We'll start out with the approval of the meeting minutes for July 14 and July 28. We can take them separately or together. What is the board's pleasure?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from July 14th and July 28th.
Second.
All those in favor? Any discussion? Was there any discussion?
Look at, no, they amended the 14th, so
Yeah,
that's good.
okay.
Yeah.
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason, aye. And next, I'm going to take things out of order a little bit, although the next one is the next one. We have a couple of, a continued hearing and a public hearing that are both, the applicants have asked to be continued. So we'll go on right on to 325 Rick Valenti, definitive residential subdivision plan, Pierceville Road. He has written and asked for a continuance.
To the next meeting?
To the next meeting. To the next
Okay.
meeting, correct.
Okay.
Till 8:25.
Motion, do you want a motion?
Yeah, can I get a motion to accept the
Motion to
continuance?
accept the continuance.
Second.
All in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
Jane Gleason, aye. So we'll see them on the 25th. And the next one, I'm going to jump way ahead here to the public hearing 8-25 DDO New England LLC for site plan review at 2424 Cranberry Highway. They as well have asked to be, no, they have not asked. We had voted at our last meeting to hear them again on 8/25, and this was just in here erroneously. So we will continue them to 8/25. And I don't know that we need to vote on that. We already did vote on it.
We already voted.
Is that
We did.
correct?
Yeah, correct.
So, just to give you a quick update, you did already vote on it. I've reached out to them. They're working through the process of getting us payment so that we can start the peer review process.
Right, so even 8/25 may be a little early, whereas that hasn't started yet. Phil may need a little bit of time, and they may need time to respond to it, and
Yeah.
so it may actually go further than the 28th. Okay, so moving right along here, we are going back to item 2 under continued public hearings, 4-25, Plan 25-5. That second number being the number for the portal, and the first number being the old list. Kevin Welch, site plan review at 2731 Cranberry Highway. So it is my understanding that there is someone online for this project. We're short-staffed for Wareham Media today, so is there somebody online?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon.
Could you tell us your name and spell it for us, please?
Yes, my name is Gabriel Padilla. That's Gabriel, and P as in Peter, A, D as in David, ILLA. I am representing Mr. Kevin Welch. I am from Grady Consulting, and we are the engineers in this project. We are going to request continuance for this hearing today. We are still waiting for the order of conditions to come back from the Conservation Commission. We did get approval. We're just waiting for the documentation at this point. We are also making some updates in the plan. We originally had 5 bays. We're changing them down to 4 bays. And also, we are getting information, sent a request for information to the building inspector for the count of the parking spaces. We believe that we have more than enough parking in there, especially now with the change of 4 bays. We will be providing pretty much 3 spaces per bay. That'll be more than that. But as of right now, we're just waiting on those things, and we will update everything, and we will be requesting a continuance for the next hearing, which should be the 25th, I believe.
Yes, and I have a question about the Zoning Board of Appeals. They issued a change of use or a use variance.
Yes.
I did look online to find that and was unable to. Josh, maybe you can answer. I don't know, maybe I'm looking in the wrong place, but I was looking in the portal and
No.
could not find any.
Yeah, it isn't uploaded to the portal. I can quickly overview kind of what the use variance described.
Good, because I was looking for it as well.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
I think the biggest takeaway from the use variance was that each bay itself be 20% some type of office space and then 80% storage or accessory use to the office. It looks like Gabriel is pulling up the decision as well.
Yes. See if they have.
I don't see anything with
Okay,
a
here.
breakdown of.
Yeah, we have the findings here. And the conditions. Here we go.
Josh, has that been recorded, do you know? We could find it online. Probably.
It's recorded.
I do believe so. It was recorded.
You
believe
Yes.
it?
It looks like, yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
okay,
it
good.
right
All
there.
So if we
Yeah.
could find it online.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can send it to you. It's going to be way easier.
Okay,
that would be great.
That would be appreciated. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, okay.
Is that something that typically does get posted in the portal under documents for the,
We're moving in that direction. Historically, no,
Okay.
but that is one of the
Trying to find suitable
the goals
page.
moving forward.
yeah, right. Okay, yeah, that would be really useful to be able to sort of cross-reference that.
Of course.
Mr. Padilla, I can't quite read the book and page. Do you have the book and page in front of you? I can't see it. Okay.
Let's see if I can
Yeah.
zoom in a little bit better there.
I see page 132, book. looks like
59961.
Okay. So it's not registered land. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Page 1 of 11.
Yeah, it's just registry of deeds. It's not registered. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So are there any other questions before we vote to continue?
Not right now.
I would just like to take a few excerpts of what the building commissioner has kind of started
yes,
to put
yes,
together
thank
for
you.
the
Yeah.
determination
Yep.
Okay.
on the parking.
Yep.
So he says that he's, reviewed the project, he's reviewed the ZBA, the use variance, and he says that, under Article 9, the parking, it basically gives him the power to assign the parking for uses that aren't listed. What he kind of defaults to when it's not listed is he uses a ratio of 1 parking spot per 1,000 square feet of storage or loading area, and then 1 spot per 250 square feet for office. And he goes on to say that there hasn't been any internal parking spaces issued previously to this project.
Yeah,
With the exception of uses that include like motor vehicle repair, just understanding that if you're a customer of the building, you're going to bring your own car, you're more than likely going to leave it there, but then you're going to have additional spaces for when you come in a different car and pick up your car.
right,
So, so normally he doesn't allow the use of interior for garage bays. And he does go on to say, you know, using the interior as a parking space and then expecting one of these tradesmen to unload, load, or kind of work out of that makes it really difficult, especially when you look at, I'll say specifically, the proposed size of these bays.
Yeah.
yeah,
It looks pretty difficult to have a car or vehicle parked there and then expect someone to work out of it as well. He would also say that he hasn't approved for parking spaces in front of a garage bay either.
yeah,
You know, trying to work in and out of the garage bay while there's a vehicle parked there, it doesn't really make sense either.
yeah,
He goes on to say, you know, we've requested that we get some interior drawings of the building to figure out where the 20% of office is, where the 80% of the storage is located. And we just haven't seen a really good laid out plan of that as of today.
And I guess another question that I would have, and this would be a building department question primarily, but it would, excuse me, would drive some site work, is that if there's 20% administrative space in each of these bays, there is the potential then for somebody who's not out in the field working in this space,
Right.
and there are no facilities. No
No restaurant
sanitary
facilities.
facilities.
Right. And I think when I originally asked for the plans that I had listed that as like something that should be called out. But, so I think the major opinion of the building commissioner, which he's kind of almost ready to finalize it, but he at least wanted me to come here with something for you guys tonight.
Yeah, yeah,
He says he doesn't agree with the interior spots being counted for this type of use. And the way that he kind of expands on that is the interior parking spot as per plan is where most of the internal activity of the unit is going to take place. You know, for example, a plumber rents the bay. The company consists of maybe an owner, a couple helpers, a secretary.
yeah,
The secretary would have his or her own personal car. The owner has maybe a company truck or a van. And then, you know, there's the question of where would the helpers park or where would another employee park. And then, you know, you really can't load and unload a van if there's a parking spot right in front of the garage door.
right,
And then I guess there's just an expanded question of the tenant cannot store a service vehicle truck overnight, which I think he's asking.
inside.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
that's a building department issue, and yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Okay.
I mean, they would have to do all kinds of things with oil separation and,
Right, so I think there's maybe
Yeah.
one or two questions that the building commissioner just needs to get answered before he can really
yeah,
finalize his
give a,
determination.
yeah, yeah,
But he goes on to say, I think currently, and I don't know if he was talking about maybe the plans that Gabriel just proposed to us with the reduction in the number of doors and that. But he goes on to say the site calculates 24 spots, and then he says, you know, or the accessible van spot, which basically takes up 2 spots,
right,
it just doesn't make sense for the project layout.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so there's some revisions that have to happen. And I think that one of Mr. Cordero's comments was something that went back to Concom, and if Concom, who, of course, we wait for Concom's decision before we make our decision, but that decision may result in some necessary design changes, so, And is Concom is pending, is that right?
So,
They approved
they
it?
did approve it on Wednesday,
Okay,
but the applicant does not have an order of conditions as
Okay.
of today.
Okay, all right.
The Conservation Commission has 21 days to issue an order of
Okay.
conditions.
Is there a Title V system?
Yes,
Yes?
yes, we are proposing a Title V system.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, so not
And,
municipal.
and to that, there will be bathrooms inside of the units.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah, that was a question that we obviously had. And I
We should let them put a porta-john in there, that's all. That cures all the problems.
That was my concern.
I don't know that the state approves of that.
10 porta potties set up.
Yeah,
And Josh, did Mr. Turner talk at all about accounting for, any liquids or fuel or whatever that might be spilled inside the building? We have an enclosed building, any kind of containment, because that is a concern.
We are providing tight tanks, holding tanks, that will tie into the building. Those, each unit will have either a floor drain or some sort of inlet to capture those into a watertight tank that has to be emptied as needed.
So you'd have a schedule of emptying it,
That is correct.
yeah.
It would be part of the O&M, the operations and maintenance manual.
okay.
Okay,
Is there a fire suppression system?
I don't believe it is required here. The buildings are less than 7,500 square feet, which is the threshold for a fire suppression system.
And that's the reason for 2 buildings instead of 1?
I wouldn't know. That was a decision from the client, not ours.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
yeah,
missed that.
it's a building code issue.
Yeah, but
not a
has
zoning
the
issue.
fire department weighed in on this?
I don't know that it's fire department to determine sprinkler or not. I think
Yeah, I
it's
know.
the building department, the
Right,
building inspector, inspectional services, excuse me.
right. Okay.
So, do we have any other questions at the moment?
No.
Not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill, are there any highlights of your latest letter that you think should be identified?
Phil Cordero, Allen and Major Associates. Not particularly at this point. They've made a lot of revisions to the plans to address technical matters. There are still some discrepancies and typographical errors that, since they are continuing, we now suggest that they incorporate those and provide a final clean plan set for the record to the board. The biggest issue really is that conservation one relative to compensatory flood storage calculations.
Okay.
It's not necessarily purview as part of the site plan review. We see it quite frequently. We're not sure that they meet it,
Yeah.
but it is conservation's jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So their determination will be important here.
Okay.
And if they've closed the hearing and they're working on the order of conditions, I think those findings will be important to this board, so you can render a decision.
Yeah, I think that's right. I did notice there was a street sweeping and record keeping.
Will they be ready for the next meeting?
Yeah, well, the order of conditions, do you think, in time
Yeah,
for?
we don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Christine is generally pretty good about
Okay.
getting them out timely.
to get it to Phil.
So we have a chance to read them ahead of time and,
I can ask her to push it forward a little bit.
Okay.
So are we aiming at 8:25?
that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Mike, motion, we continue to 8:25.
Second.
Is that okay with the applicant?
August 25, that is, yes, that is acceptable.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor? Or any discussion? No? No? Go ahead.
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason, aye, 400 to continue to the 25th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's amazing how creative these
Yeah.
builders are getting. Before it was site plans, for houses and stuff like that. They're getting pretty creative.
Then they're getting around it.
Yeah.
They're learning.
Yeah.
So, Josh, you wanted to talk about some zoning?
Oh, yeah. So
Bylaw.
I'll just mention you have 2 more site plan reviews on the horizon. You have a new one on the 25th and a new one on September 8th. I am also going to be proposing 2 zoning bylaw changes. I plan to bring them in front of the planning board on September 8th. I think historically I said that there were 3 that I was aiming to bring to town meeting, but one of them is kind of better just being folded into the overall zoning bylaw revisions.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the 2 that I'm planning to bring before you guys and then to town meeting, the first one would be changes to Article 15, your actual site plan review. It just gives some of the power back to the zoning board where variances are required. And then the other one is to meet the standards of Chapter 40A, Section 3, the MBTA, multifamily zoning.
What was it, 40, say the chapter again, 40?
40A, Section
Section
3A.
Okay.
It's
And
MBTA.
yeah, I'll expand on it more, but I would say
You
we're.
introduced it the last 2 meetings ago. Yeah?
Right.
Okay.
I would say we're almost there. I mean, we're in conditional approval right now, but the state has said we would not get an extension on our conditional approval, so we kind of gotta start taking care of that.
So are both those that you're trying to bring before town meeting, or?
Yeah.
You said one of them you wanted to just roll into the,
There were 3 total.
oh, there were
initially.
3. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the third one is the one, these 2 you want to do at fall town meeting?
Yeah, the
Okay.
third one that I decided to drop was in the cluster developments. It was taking a look at the requirements of cluster developments.
Yeah.
Right now, it just reflects back to the underlining zoning district,
Sure, yep,
where that doesn't really make sense in a few cases.
yep.
So,
Should we do something about this particular case, the 2731, the indoor parking? 'Cause it really isn't addressed. We could say either no or,
You're talking about on the zoning
Yeah.
rewrite? Yeah.
I think by kind
Yeah,
of
I think that's a,
default, maybe that's not the right word, but conceptually, it's kind of in the right direction. I think that parking indoors, it's not our purview. And it's in the zoning bylaw.
I know, but parking
So,
is.
but parking inside a
Inside,
structure is not under the auspices of the zoning bylaws, and the zoning bylaws talk about parking. So to my mind, that means by default that it is outdoor parking,
right.
Exclusively.
unless it's a parking structure, and
we-
that's a
we-
whole different issue.
We need to address it, because there's
We
nothing
do
there.
need to address it, we need to
That's what-
clarify
I
that.
was
but
talking about the grant writing, the award that's just been made, and the
Yeah, yeah.
committee.
Oh,
will have
absolutely,
to
that
cover
needs
it.
to
Yeah.
cover it,
Yeah,
absolutely. But I
exactly.
think that default position is applicable until
Right now.
we do the
We do
bylaw,
something, yeah.
the bylaw update.
Right. Right.
And I think doing that bylaw update as a sort of wholesale thing without all these little bits and pieces
Yeah.
going on around it peripherally will make it
Yeah.
cleaner and easier.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just my,
Yeah.
Well, no, it's confusing. We count parking, then we don't count this.
Yeah, I know.
It's got to be addressed.
Yeah,
It's
I
just,
think-
it's a
I think-
gray area.
I mean, from my perspective, I think it's less gray than we may have initially thought, because it's the separation between interior activity and a zoning issue. And a zoning issue, to me, says it's outside the structure.
Well, and I also think that it really brings in much more of the building code if you're doing all of this interior, then
Sure, it's a
and if-
building code issue
yeah,
once you get
yeah.
inside the
So
building.
we really have to make sure we're considering
And
go forward.
what uses go on inside a building
Right.
is really hard to police.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, very hard.
Yeah, so I think that's just not where the parking is.
Right.
And
Right.
it doesn't sound like this is the first application that the building commissioner has made a parking determination on. I mean,
Right.
he was able to say, you know, historically, I do 1,000 square feet,
Right.
1 equals 1 parking space, and he kind of broke it down by uses as well, so.
Well, it sounds like he had a pretty good
Yeah,
way of,
I think-
determining.
I think he has a good understanding of how these type of facilities operate.
Mhm.
And then he also has a good understanding of what we've done historically for
Yeah.
parking spaces in relation to size of building.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth bringing up at this town meeting, only
Yeah.
because I would hate to put a lot of effort into coming up with something and then we just get a totally different opinion from,
And we can also
From
look
our
at it
consultant.
from the exercise.
holistically. We want to look
Right.
at the whole thing holistically,
Well,
so,
and
agreed.
the consultant may have another idea of how to frame it
Yep.
that-
It's what they're paying
that we're just
for.
not thinking of.
Right.
So,
Okay.
okay. That it?
Motion to adjourn.
Any other business?
No discussion? We're just starting to have fun now, Sam. Second,
I have no other business.
All those in favor?
Mike Baptiste, aye.
Julie Moran, aye.
Sam Corbett, aye.
And Jane Gleason votes aye. Good night.